When I was young, I used to watch a lot of music videos, and I remember specifically seeing In Da Club by 50 Cent, and he had on the wife beater with them funny ass little stripes on the shoulder. And I wanted one of them so bad because that shit looked so dope to me. And I got one and I tried it on, and I remember thinking I didn't look anything like he did wearing it. I saw the video, it was, I think, Murphy Lee and Nelly. It was like, hold up, and Nelly had the fucking wife beater with the royal blue do-rag, and I tried again. I just got the regular one. I put it on, I didn't look anything like him, and I spent so long wanting nothing more than to wear those fucking wife beaters like all of the people that I saw who looked so cool doing it. And I could never figure out why they didn't look good on me. And I used to be so mad about it and think, why can't I be one of those people who can wear this and it look good on me like it does on them? I remember Wayne had one on in the Go DJ video, and just all of this. I would see it all of the time. I had friends who wore them and it just looked ridiculous on me, and I couldn't figure out why. And it wasn't until I got older, just a little bit older, that I realized it was because I was not in shape. So at that point, I started wishing that I was in shape like all of these other people so I could wear this stuff, and the tighter t-shirts or the wife beaters or even just running around without a shirt on would look better on me like it does on them. I would be so mad that I didn't get to be one of them and they did, until one day I realized that the reason that I didn't get to look like them is because I didn't do the things that they did. They went to the gym while I just wished that I was looking differently. They wanted to look different and they did what it takes to look different, so they looked different. And at that point, I realized that if I am willing to put in the work that they put in, then I can get the results that they got. If I go to the gym like they go to the gym, if I do the workouts that they do, if I eat food and pay attention to what it is that I'm eating like they do, then I will get what it is that they are getting. And the reason that I hadn't been getting it is because I hadn't been doing it, which is how life works as a whole. So I started going to the gym every single day. I had no idea what I was doing, but I kept going. I started trying to eat better. I didn't know what I was doing as a whole, but I knew that I had to eat better than I currently was. And I learned little bits and pieces throughout the journey. I learned that I needed to get more protein. At the time, the only way that I knew how to get protein was from protein shakes, because I didn't know that it was also a food-based thing. So I would buy them Muscle Milks or whatnot from the gas station or the grocery store as much as I could. I was super broke at the time. And then I learned about protein powder, bought some protein powder, I would drink my protein shakes, I would do my workouts. It was whether I had a long day. At one point in time, I worked for this armored car company, and we would be there till like 8 o'clock at night, and I would have to go in at 5 a.m. Then after I got off of work, I would go to the gym, and I kept going regardless. And I didn't see any sort of results at all, but I kept going because in the back of my mind, I knew, really in the front of my mind at the time, because I was obsessed with it. It was the only thing that I thought about. It was the only thing that I cared about. And I knew that if I kept going and doing these things, eventually I too would look like that. I would get to be in shape like those people were in shape if I just kept going, because this is how it is that they got in shape, from going to this gym and eating this food. So if I do this for long enough, I will get it. And I didn't know how long it was going to take me. I didn't know what it was that I was doing. I would read the workout magazines. I would read the different workouts. I would adopt them. I would do them for the whole entire thing. And I would find another one and I would do it. And I worked out every single day for almost 2 years before I finally started looking like I worked out, because it took me all of that time to dial stuff in, to get the workouts together, to figure out what works, to truly understand what it is that I should be eating. Even though I wasn't seeing any results, I kept going because I believed that at the end of this path was where it was that I wanted to be. So I was going to walk it no matter how long it took. And what do you know, after doing all of these things, I got to where it was that I wanted to be. I got in shape. I got the abs. I could wear the wife beaters. And along the process, I felt better. I got stronger. I learned a bunch about myself. I developed discipline. I developed the ability to delay gratitude. I learned how to be consistent. I learned commitment. I developed so many character traits along this journey. But that journey only started because I took the time to go from feeling like I just got dealt a bad hand, or that I was unlucky, or that I just wasn't gifted what these other people were gifted, and to thinking or realizing that the reason that I wasn't getting these things is because I wasn't doing the things that they were doing. But most people stay in the former. They think that they are where they are because of genetics, or where they were born, or because of society, or the color of their skin, or their height, or some other immutable characteristic about themselves. Most people go through life believing that everyone who is in some sort of position that they want to be in, whether that be in better shape, making more money, in better relationships, in better houses, better cars, better jobs, whatever the case may be, kind of was just bestowed these things by a God who picked some people to favor and some people to condemn. And because of that, they are never able to break out of their situation. They never get to be in better shape. They never get to make more money. They never get to have the better job. They never get to live in the big house. They never get to drive the nice cars, because their perspective prevents them from looking for a path towards that thing, because they don't believe there's a path towards that thing. And I know, because I was once that person. I didn't believe that I was ever going to get to look like those people looked. I didn't believe that I was ever going to be able to wear what it is that they wore, or do the things that they did, any of that. And as long as I had that perspective, I stayed exactly where it was. But when I was able to take an objective look at the difference between me and them, I saw that the only difference was not some sort of magical granting of better stuff. It was work and commitment to process. They committed to doing the workouts, so I committed to doing the workouts. Committing to the workouts got them in shape, and committing to the workouts got me in shape. And committing to the workouts will get you in shape. It will get every single person who does it in shape, regardless of your genetics, regardless of your thyroid or your hormones or whatever other nonsensical things it is that you would like to tell yourself. There's not a single person who cannot get better shape, lose weight, or anything along those lines for any reason other than the fact that they are unwilling to put in the work, which describes the vast majority of people. And what else I learned throughout my journey of getting in shape and committing to doing a bunch of things, even though I wasn't seeing the results, was that was true not only for working out, it was true for every other thing in the world too. I started looking at all sorts of different things through a different lens. I used to see rich people and think that rich people just happened to be rich because they were lucky, or they were given a thing, or that's just the way things had turned out for them, because mostly that's the narrative that society paints. But it was a belief that I held. And as long as it was a belief that I held, I was never going to be able to do the things necessary to make myself one of the rich people. I believed that maybe I could make some more money if I figured out something, if I went back to school, or I guess really just school to begin with, or something along those lines. I was able to find myself a really good job doing something sales related, that I believe that I would be able to increase my income, but that I would never be able to actually truly become rich, because I just wasn't one of those people. But it was that process of going to the gym that led me to view all of these things differently and start looking at things all as process and outcome based, as opposed to just random luck of the draw, people being given things or anything along those lines. So when I started viewing all of these different things differently, it allowed me to act differently. I was able to make much more money than I ever believed that I possibly could, once I came to the realization that the reason that the people who were making more money than me were doing more/better things than me. And if I did those more/better things, then I could make more money as well. I can have a nicer house as well. I could drive a nicer car as well. I could do all of these things if I'm willing to put in the work that they were willing to put in to do these things. And when I started doing that, what do you know? I started getting these things as well, because Much like going to the gym and getting in shape, what separates the people in great shape and the people out of shape is nothing other than commitment to process. Anything that you put in the work towards, you can get. There are zero exceptions to this rule. Even on a personal level, if you are an angry person and you don't want to continue being angry, you can pivot that if you are willing to do the work to do so. You can no longer be an angry person. I used to not be a morning person. I used to always want to get up early, and then when my alarm clock would go off, I would just hit the snooze button and go right back to sleep. And I always thought in my mind, I'm just not someone who can get up early. But when I changed that perspective, I was able to become someone who got up early. And every single day, regardless of when I went to sleep, I get up at 3:53 a.m. It was much earlier than I even anticipated or wanted to do so originally. But once I realized that it was possible, I was able to do it. I used to have a very bad memory. And when I stopped telling myself that I had a bad memory and started doing the things necessary to have a good memory, my memory improved. This applies to all things. If you are not a confident person and you are willing to put in the work that it takes to create confidence, you could become a confident person. This is why I hate these labels that people have. I'm an introvert, I'm an extrovert, I'm a type A, or what's that thing that people take? INTJ plus QR, whatever their stupid little personality trait types are. I hate every single one of those, because every single one of those is based in the idea that there are these certain immutable characteristics about yourself. There is nothing that you can do to change or improve these things. If you are an introverted person and you feel that's holding you back, or you would like to have extroverted tendencies or qualities, you can put in the work and go from being an introverted person to an extroverted person. You could put in the work and go from being a type A to a type B. I'm not fully familiar with what the types of people are, but you understand what it is. You can change any single thing about yourself if you are willing to put in the work to do so. The difference between the people who are different than you is not just things that were bestowed upon them. If you consider yourself to be depressed or have depression, you can put in the work necessary to no longer be depressed, and you will no longer be depressed. You could do the same thing for your anxiety, your PTSD, your stupid little trauma that everybody loves so much and is oh so fond of. You could do the same thing for your alleged ADD. You can increase your ability to focus if you do the things necessary to increase your ability to focus. Whatever it is that you would like to do in the world, you can do if you identify and then can commit to the process. Is it going to be easy? No. But in the overall scheme of things, it's not really that difficult. All you have to do is do some things. Yes, things will be hard in the beginning, but things are always harder in the beginning. But as a whole, that's a whole entire other video. But you can do every single one of these things if you just commit yourself to doing these things. And once you do that, you will eventually become the person. Because if you walk a path, it will lead you to the destination regardless of where it is that you started, regardless of who it is that you are. If you take the path from Los Angeles to New York, maybe it will take you longer than some other people. Maybe some other people have better and or faster modes of transportation than you. That does not matter, because if you walk the path, you will get to where that path leads. Period. That applies to everything. Whatever it is that you would like to accomplish, walk the path there and you will get there. If you go to the gym long enough and you actually work out properly and not like an idiot, which is honestly not that difficult. It's not as complicated as people make it seem. But if you go to the gym and you work out like not an idiot consistently enough for long enough, you will get in shape. If you diet not like an idiot and you do it consistently enough and long enough, you will get your abs. If you find something to work towards that will make you money and you do it consistently enough and long enough, eventually you will make money. You will do whatever the things are that you would like to do. Some people would like to grow on social media. If you sit there and you make good content consistently enough and long enough, then you will grow. You will build your audience if you keep doing it, if you keep putting in the work. There is not a single thing that this thing does not apply to. It is the simple little steps that you take every single day that has led everyone to being where it is that they are. It is also these small little steps that have led to you being where it is that you are. If you are fat, it is because you followed the process to be fat. You did every single thing necessary to be a fat person and turned into a fat person. If you are a poor person, it is because you do every single thing that poor people do, and that is what it is that's keeping you poor. If you are a depressed person, it is because you do every single thing that depressed people do, and that's what's keeping you depressed. If you take a look at your life and you remove yourself out of your victimhood and this idea that these things were just given to you, or that you're unlucky, or you were dealt a bad hand, or any of that other nonsense that people like, then you can see that you are a result of the consistent commitment to processes. Even if it's something that you don't like, it is consistent commitment to the process that has got you there. You have built your terrible life brick by consistently piling them and doing the little knife thingy that the bricklayers do where they spread the gray stuff that's in between the bricks. I don't know what it's called. It doesn't even matter. But the point is, you have consistently done that with your life, and you have constructed your life piece by piece by consistently committing to some sort of process. Maybe you didn't know that you were doing it. Maybe you were unaware of where the path that you were walking led you to. That's fine. Maybe you're stupid, but that's okay. The point is, the process still led you to where it is that you are. And I know that makes most people feel bad, which is why they try and find these excuses and all these things to blame, to say that it's not their fault that they're fat or poor or depressed or alcoholics or still traumatized or whatever. And that might make you feel good because it feels bad being where it is that you are, and it would feel even worse to accept the idea that you put yourself there. But in reality, it's a good thing, because once you can accept and acknowledge the fact that you put yourself wherever it is that you are, then you are also accepting and acknowledging the fact that you have the ability to commit to a process. And in the exact same way that you committed to the process of overeating garbage foods every single day, you can commit yourself to the process of tracking and sticking to your macros every single day. In the exact same way that you stuck to the process of sleeping in, playing video games, and binging Netflix, you can stick to the process of going to the gym. You've already shown yourself that you could do all of these things. You've just shown yourself by doing the wrong things. All you have to do is pivot what it is that you are doing. Instead of committing to your own mediocrity, commit to your greatness. And if you do that for long enough, you will be great. Period.